Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about charging equipment for multiple EV households, so that conversation is coming up. So EVs are getting pretty popular these days. Where I live, there's basically more Teslas than any other car brand that I see, kind of around town. So I think with the popularity of EVs, it's not uncommon today to have a household with more than one EV. Could be 2 Teslas or just 2 EVs in general. If you follow the channel for a while, we did have 2 Teslas at one point, but now we have a Model 3 and a Rivian R1S, but we're still all EV. So with 2 EVs, should we have 2 EVSEs, electric vehicle supply equipment? There are a couple of reasons why I wanted to go this route, but before I do, let me back up and just say that we had one charging, one NEMA 1450 for a while, and it worked totally fine with 2 EVs, so it's totally doable, but there's other reasons that I want to have 2 EVSEs. So as I thought about it more, it just kind of made more sense to have 2 EVSEs at our house, granted that we have the 2 EVs. First reason is charger security. So if you think about it, you have 2 EVs. If you only have one plug or one EVSE, you're putting a lot of stress on that one outlet or EVSE to charge both cars. So basically I wanted to have 2 just because if you only had one and that outlet or EVSE dies, then you're going to be SOL until you can get it fixed. I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. So if we just think about it, if you have 2 EVs, like your entire household transportation is electric, and you don't have a working plug or EVSE, that means I would have to charge the Tesla at the Supercharger network and the Rivian at Electrify America, EA. And just thinking about that is a nightmare. I don't even want to have to think about trying to fight people at EA because there's not very many stalls to begin with, and they're always kind of broken anyway, to try and get that car charged on top of trying to charge a Tesla as well. So having 2 fixes that. So if one breaks, you can get it fixed, and you can share the other outlet or EVSE in the interim, and it's not really a big deal. And speaking of sharing, if you don't like sharing, then go ahead and get that second EVSE, and then you don't have to deal with that. On top of that, if it's just so inconvenient for you that to share an EVSE, then that's another reason why you'd want to get a second one. Maybe both of you have a long commute and both cars need to be on the plug or EVSE for a long time. If that's your situation, then maybe it does make sense to get 2, so that way you can charge both cars at once. But for us, since we have the Rivian has a 135 kilowatt hour battery pack. So this ain't no Model Y with the 82 kilowatt hour battery pack, or a Model 3 has a 62 kilowatt hour battery pack. It's relatively small compared to this massive car, but you also can't defy physics. So this car is obviously really big because it can haul stuff and has a lot of space. And on top, that's the reason why the battery is so big, because it's just a bigger car. So charging on the mobile connector was doable at 32 amps. You get about 15 miles an hour on the Rivian. Luckily for us, we don't really drive that much, so it's not a huge deal. But I think we're really not the norm, and most people drive more than we do, so it's going to be a bigger issue for you. So even as it was, the Rivian was plugged in a lot of the time just because the 32 amps charging is a little bit slow at 15 miles an hour. So I can only imagine someone else who drives more, the car is going to be plugged in literally like all day, all night. So this is where the Tesla wall connector comes in. So I had thought about getting maybe a Grizzly or something that can plug in to our NEMA 1450 and charge at 40 amps, which is higher than the 32 amps that the mobile connector gets. But if I was going to start mounting things to my wall, my thought process was I want to go all the way and charge at 48 amps, like the max you can charge at home, because the Rivian has such a big battery. And it can take advantage of that extra power because the car has such a big battery. Plus, I've been wanting to DIY a Tesla wall connector anyways, so here's the chance to do it and learn something at the same time. So now with the wall connector charging at 48 amps, I can get 25 miles an hour over the 32 amp mobile connector, which is 15 miles an hour, so I can get to the SOC I want to in a more reasonable time frame. Last reason is because I got the wall connector for free. So thanks to all the referrals from people on this channel, I was able to get it for free. So if you did use my code, I do appreciate it. And this is, basically what I got for it. So instead of costing me about $1,300 plus or minus to have an electrician come in and install it, plus paying for the wall connector, it cost me about $100 in parts to do it. And then I did it myself and I learned something at the same time. So if you have 2 EVs, maybe getting 2 EVSEs is the right decision for you. If that's you, let me know your situation in the comments, and thanks for watching.